We'll start in Group F. It seems like a place to start, really. England can get it all done. They can book their seats on the plane if they beat Slovenia on a Thursday. Can we have the prices for game, please, Ed?
Yeah. So England are 1-3. The draw is 4-1, and Slovenia are 10-1.
Do we think they're going to have any problems, Chelsea?
I think they'll win. I don't think it will be a cakewalk because the Slovenia owns Sreko Katanec, their manager, very experienced international manager. He's done a good job with a lot of nations, and his teams are always very well organised. I mean, we saw they got a 0-0 draw against England in the reverse fixture as well. So I think they'll be tough to break down. Obviously, Dele Alli not available for England, but I do think England will get the job done. I mean, they're 1-3 to win the game. You're looking to really bump up that price. So I'm looking at the win to 0, really, 5-6. Slovenia don't score many goals. I mentioned their defence. They've only conceded 4. England have only conceded 3. You've got a change there. Phil Jones injured. John Stones coming in. As we've mentioned, John Stones is defending better than he has done in the past.
Yeah.
Slovenia this year, away from home, played away to Scotland and away to Slovakia. Didn't score in either game. Lost both 1-0. Lack of firepower as well. The top scorer in their squad is 10 goals, joint, and the centre-back, Boštjan Cesar, is a joint top scorer with 10 goals. That says everything you need to know, really. So England win 0 for me.
So you won't expect too much attacking intent from the Slovenians?
They probably will have to have a go at some stage because their position in the group... depending on the other result as well, when Scotland plays Slovakia, they might need to try and win the game at some stage against England, but they'll be keeping an eye on events at Hampden Park.
Yes, they for the old radios. The radios in the
even if they are pushing for the win, I still think they might struggle to score.
Yeah, what do you think, Mark?
Yeah, I mean, 18 of the last 20 have been under 2.5 Slovenia, so I'm not expecting it to be a goal fest. I mean, maybe something along the lines of England and under 2.5 or England under 3.5 or I was looking maybe just England 2-0 as a way to go. I mean, Kevin Campbell, probably Slovenia's best outfield player. He's not in the squad.
I thought you said Kevin Campbell then.
Yeah, Kevin Campbell. Yeah, well, they could do with him up front. They haven't got much up front. Kevin Campbell's not in the squad due to a row with the manager over him prioritising his move to Leipzig in the last batch of international matches. Struggling to see where they score goals. I mean, including these, under 2.5. So you've got matches against San Marino and Malta in there. They've obviously got a very good goalkeeper in Oblak, who world-class keeper for Atletico, can keep the score down, I suppose. But yeah, England to win. A few of the markets I mentioned there, 2-0 might be the best way to go for correct scores. Just in terms of goal scorers, I suppose Raheem Sterling, if he starts, would be somebody I'd be looking at. I think he's playing very well for Manchester City at the moment and could get more freedom centrally maybe with Dele Alli.
Yeah, that sounds like a good shout. What do you think, Ed? Do you fancy England to win comfortably?
Yeah, I think the lads have covered pretty much all my points there. I think England will deal with this fine. Slovenia's away record, stretching back to 2014, the only nations they've beaten are Malta, San Marino, Cyprus, and Lithuania. They don't beat the better nations, and England are one of them. So yeah, I've England to win 0 here at 5-6 as well. I've Kane 11-5 first goal scorer as well. I think it's worth a double given his current form, and the captaincy should even build his confidence even more. But I like the Sterling shout. Apparently this morning it broke that they're going to play Sterling, Rashford, Kane, and Oxlade-Chamberlain as well. So yeah, that's
going so well.
Investigating too.
I like Rashford. I think he's really coming on. I think he's going to be a really good player for England in the next few years. I'm flying a bit against what everybody's saying. I noted that England have scored at least twice in each of their last 13 home qualifiers. So I think 17-10 that they'll score 3 or more is worth a poke in this game. If England's passage to Russia seems to be quite straightforward, then the same cannot be said for Scotland in also in Group F, who are at home to Slovakia. Gordon Strachan's team, they've dug themselves out of a hole and given themselves a chance, Charlesy. Is this the night that the dream ends?
I think they might just keep it bubbling, actually. I look at them this year. I mean, as you mentioned, towards the end of last year, there was talk that Strachan was on his way out. They were not looking like getting anywhere near qualification. All of a sudden, 10 points in 12 games this year. I mean, could have been 12, and they're very close to beating England as well in Glasgow. They're looking at the performances. The first win they had against Slovenia, they really just dug it out near the end. But their performances are really starting to improve. The Lithuania. I know Lithuania are a poor side, but the manner that they won that game, they were very, very impressive. They've got a striker in form as well. Griffiths is in form for club and country. 3 goals in the last 3 internationals, 2 goals in the last 2 starts for Celtic, and they're in big games as well. Celtic away to Rangers, he scored in that game. Away to Anderlecht in the Champions League, he scored in that game. So he's full of confidence. And I don't know. I look at Slovakia away from home. I mean, they have lost away to England. You kind of expect that. Played okay in that game, but
they got off to a cracking start.
Sat on the lead, didn't they? And then England, really, you couldn't argue with a final score. Probably could have won by more in the end. But they also lost away to Slovenia. And you look at that form, and you know they're missing Milan Skriniar as well, important holding midfield player who's suspended. So. I just think Scotland here, given it's kind of a must-win game, I would just take them at the odds to win it.
What about you, March?
I was looking at not a market that I go to much in international football, but both teams to score, actually. I think Scotland, obviously it's a game that they'll need to win, quite an adventurous side as well, I think, that they've become, really, because Gordon Strachan's taken on the Brendan Rodgers kind of approach, really, which makes sense if you've got a number of Celtic players, and there's a few of them that are not in the squad for this game, but I think that they've got to go for it. And Slovakia, I thought, were good at Wembley in terms of on the counter-attack. The Botka, Hamsik in midfield, are dangerous players that can definitely make a difference. So I think this could be a really high, not really high scoring game, but I certainly think it
could be a decent one.
Yeah, I mean, as well. I mean, nobody does sort of glorious failure better than Scotland, so it wouldn't be the biggest surprise.
There could be a few candidates for that this week. We'll come on to a few of them later.
But in terms of Scotland, they had a similar game against Poland in the last round of qualifying that went really crazy towards the end in terms of goals in that game. So I can definitely see it's been a really good watch. Actually, I'd probably rather tune into this than England's game against Slovenia.
What will you be watching, Ed?
Yeah, I'll be watching. All right, yeah, sure, why not? So Scotland are 27-20. The draw is 9-4, and Slovakia 11-5. Yeah, Scotland very rarely actually get beaten at home. Their last defeat came against Germany in 2015. Obviously, they've drawn a fair few of them, but still. And Slovakia's away form is pretty average. I mean, they've only beaten Lithuania, Malta, and Russia in recent times. So, most of them are Russia away is obviously a good result, but Lithuania, Malta, whatever. And Scotland have 5 Celtic players in their squad. So, and they have plenty of experience of high pressure games now at this stage. So, yeah, for me, I'd agree with Dan as well. I think. Scotland at 27-20 looks cracking bet to me.
Yeah, and I'm gonna give the visitors a sniff, really. I mean, obviously we've all talked about Scotland's motivations, but Slovakia's are just as keen. They're the current occupants of second place in Group F, a point ahead of Scotland, and they beat them 3-0 earlier in the campaign, and I did think they gave England a bit. Like Mark said, I think they played quite well at Wembley and gave England a bit of a fright. So I wouldn't go mad, but I'd give them a bit of a poke at 11-5. So the final game we're going to have a look at for Thursday is an intriguing one in Belfast, Northern Ireland, who've conceded just 2 goals in qualifying, playing Germany, who are virtually assured of their place in the finals. How do you pass that one up?
It is 10-1 Northern Ireland, 9-2 to draw, and 2-7 Germany.
2-7 Germany. What are your thoughts on this, Dan?
I'll look at the comments of the Northern Ireland manager, Michael O'Neill, who's done a fantastic job, and he's called the game a bonus game, and we've got nothing to lose. Now, that to me sort of rings alarm bells to me, because he said that the players believe they can win, great, but you kind of think, are they going to depart from their usual tactics and have a right go here? And that's kind of the way he's talking. I think if they have a right go, I think they're going to get taken apart.
Right going over.
Yeah. I mean, the game in Hanover, it was kind of damage limitation, but Germany have just started fast, got two goals up in 20 minutes, and then coasted through the game. So apart from that, Northern Ireland have done fantastic in what has to be said is a weak group, but they have done everything they need to do. And I just think Germany, they've got a few players out injured, but they've still got a lot of firepower. I mean, we saw them perform well at the Confederations Cup with a second-string squad. They're the joint top scorers in qualifying. I think it's 35 goals, same as Belgium. I just think they're gonna coast to victory here, and I think they'll, as happened in Hanover, they might do the hard work early. So I looked at the Germany, half time, full time, 5-6.
Half time, full time at 5-6. Langer.
Yeah, I've got that down as well. I mean, in all 8 qualifiers so far, Germany have been ahead at the break and at the full-time whistle. That 1-0 at the European Championship that Germany beat Northern Ireland was harrowing for me. I backed some -1, I think, on the handicap that day, and I mean Germany could have won by 10. Never mind 1. 9-1 shots on target, 14-0 shots off target, 79% possession. It was just an amazing performance, really, from Northern Ireland's goalkeeper, if I remember rightly, to keep it at 1. As it was 2-0 and easy in the reverse fixture. I mean, it's all well and good saying, Northern Ireland have only conceded 2 goals in qualifying. Those 2 goals came in against Germany. I mean, if they played Germany every week, they wouldn't have conceded only 2 goals. And I mean, Germany are just blitzing teams in terms of their attacking threat is just unbelievable. Even if without Timo Werner, you've got Draxler and Muller and people like that not even guaranteed starts. And so I think what happens is, when they do play, everybody's so determined to try and get their way a place in the team. So, I just can't see Northern Ireland. Northern Ireland have had some amazing results at Windsor Park over the years, and are going great guns. But I think they need one more point, don't they, to be certain. I think it may have to come elsewhere.
Ed, what are your views on this one?
Yeah, I've just a small bit of an angle in here. So both Evans brothers, Davis, Norwood, Dallas, and McGuinness they're all 1 yellow card away from suspension, and they will more than likely they might need to get something out of the Norway game just to confirm the best 8 second place spot, and also Hughes and Cathcart are out as well. So given Northern Ireland's defensive issues, and they'll be trying to avoid accumulating any yellows, I think Tackles might be a little bit more tentative from the Northern Irish side. So I expect Germany to slice through them. So 8-13 or over 2.5 goals, 8-13 looks cracking bet. And also the card index as well. I think under 10 points in the first half card index at 17-10, and then you've also got under 30 points in the whole game as well at 5-4.
So that's 10 for a yellow and 25 for a red, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. And then you've also, I guess, with Werner out, Lars Stindl may start anyway. And he impressed during the summer for me in the Confed Cup. He's 3 goals in 7 games. He wouldn't even played all the full 90 minutes in those 7 games. So yeah, he could be worth a few quid as well. I think he's 92 for first goal scorer there.
Yeah, I'd agree with you with the overs. Northern Ireland, I know it's a massive step up in class for the teams that they usually play, but they have failed to score in just 2 of their last 17 matches in Belfast. I think Charles is right, they will go a bit gung-ho. And the overs, yeah, I think that's a cracking bet as well.